Silver Dave here. Can we expect a short squeeze on gold, silver, and platinum anytime soon? Well, let's find out. If you've been following the news, you've seen what a short squeeze can do when things are, well, when things go south for the big banks and hedge funds who have over shorted and not covered their positions, right? And for metals, this means that a hedge fund or a bank has to issue more future contracts than there is physical metals. And this is something that a lot of that we don't have proof that these bullion exchanges are doing it, but it is very likely that they do it. And this is alleged because recently there were some audits for these bullion exchanges, and some of them were not able to pass the audit completely, and therefore their assets had to be discounted when they were used as counterparties. So that's it. I'll post the link if I can find the story. I read it by passing about the audit. It was for Basel III, anyways. But to the main point, so why I think there could be a short squeeze coming for the physical metals, and is that if you have been trying to buy physical gold, silver, and any type of physical material, the prices have been going through the roof. You're like, wait, what do you mean the prices are going through the roof? The spot price has been dropping. Yeah, look, if you're trying to buy a gold Krugerrand, right? Right now, I checked on JM Bullion, a gold Krugerrand is around $1,980 for one coin, while the spot price is 1820, 1840. So there's a huge gap. That's a huge gap for gold. Gold typically should, in normal markets, when there is ample supply, physical gold is usually between 1 to 3% above spot. That is for 1 ounce investment gold coins, such as gold eagles, gold Krugerrands, and so on. Right now, they're closer to like, what is it? Yeah, they're closer to 10%. it's 7%. It's a little bit, it's higher than what it used to be. And the reason why I have these coins here is that these coins, right, were bought last year around between November and December. And these coins, I paid 1% above spot, roughly 1%, a little bit less than 1% above spot. And they're a good deal. They were a great deal at the time. All those deals gone. No more deals on used gold coins. I'm like, why? They have no manufacturing costs. There's no, they've been in circulation for hundreds of years. There's no reason why they should not be trading, closer to spot, but they're not. These coins now have a 7% premium on them. And I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous, right? So the gold Krugerrand, you're like, oh, this is a new gold Krugerrand 2021. Well, I have a funny story about this. I didn't order a 2021 gold Krugerrand. I ordered a random year gold Krugerrand, and they were actually out of Krugerrands. They were out of gold, and they had to contact me. They said, look, we're going to delay your delivery, but the next batch of Krugerrands we get, you'll get one. I was like, okay, so I waited 3 weeks, right? More than 4 weeks. Normally, my order takes about 1 week for it to be processed, and then a few days for them to send it to me by insured express mail. This time, it took almost 4 weeks for them to process my order, right? I ordered this at the beginning of, end of last year, and then they said that they ran out of gold at the dealer, and they were like, and that they were processing my order. So I had back and forth. I was like, so when is my Krugerrand coming? They were like, oh no, there's been delays. We're waiting. So they ran out of Krugerrands. And when I got it, I went onto their website and I was like, okay, maybe let's see. They have more Krugerrands and more on sale, because when I ordered, the Krugerrand was on sale. So I slipped in my order. I believe the next day they took the sale away. during the daytime when they reopened. So I ordered around like at night, around midnight, I made my order and I slipped it in there. The next day, no more sale for the Krugerrand, 3 to 4 weeks delay. And then I got it finally by mail. And it's a 2021 Krugerrand. So it's a new Krugerrand. They needed new gold to be at the dealership because they ran out of gold. They're running out of gold. They're removing all their sales. You see this also with Silver Eagles. That's why I have this Silver Eagle. I bought this last year, right? Sometime near the beginning of the year. And my God, Silver Eagle premiums have been going up like crazy since when I bought it. I think I bought this at $27 a piece. I was like, yeah, it's pretty expensive because I did have to pay a premium for it. But now, Silver Eagles, it's insane. It's completely crazy that they have such high premiums on them, especially they're discontinuing and so on. But these are not numismatic coins. They're bullion generic coins, right? They should be selling for a little bit above spot, but not so much. Same story was platinum. I don't know. Here it is. Platinum coins. Premiums on these are crazy. For a while, one of my other dealers, so I use multiple online dealers to source my gold and silver. The one that sells me platinum, he ran out of platinum for about 2 months. Like he came out with platinum lunar oxus and he ran out within a week. He was out. Right? And he was so now he's sourcing other type of platinum coins. So these Viennese Philharmonics. So he does have a decent supply of these, but I don't think they'll hold on for very long. He hasn't put them on sale. They're selling, I think, at a 15% premium above spot. So yeah. Anyways, the premiums are high for a lot of the metals. Physical investment gold is really high, but the prices are dropping. So what does that mean? You know, I think it's a sign. It's a sign that right now a lot of people are not buying the ETFs because when you're buying gold as an insurance, you want physical, you want a physical material. You don't want to have a counterparty like a bank holding your gold just in case you know, in their vaults, because you have no control over what they do with it. One thing you have to understand is if you buy an ETF for gold, yes, the ETF is backed 100%, but they can borrow your allocation and use it. You know, they eventually have to pay you back, but there's some leeway on how long they can borrow it. So yeah, I'm not so comfortable with that, and so that's why I have physical. And if you want to have gold, silver, platinum as insurance against, like as a hedge against volatility, against chaos, against uncertainty, you have to have physical. Now, I've been looking at interest rates, right? The gold prices have been dropping somewhat, but interest rates, I've been noticing is that the yield curve is steepening. And I think sooner or later, the Fed will have to intervene on the long-term exchange rates. And the reason for that is because if it gets too steep, it's out of whack. People will also stop borrowing. So they need to have it aligned with their lower exchange rates. But also when the interest rate, right, the yield curve is, the correlation, the trend line for the yield curve is positive, you have to note that you typically have a bull market in the commodities and you typically have a bull market in the stock market. It means that there's a lot of liquidity, short-term liquidity in the market, and you will basically, that short-term liquidity can kill a lot of short positions and squeeze a lot of short positions out of place, and things like Gamestop happen during such a market condition. But more on gold and silver, I think, you know, at least from my perspective, when I'm ordering gold and silver, I've noticed that a lot of the deals are gone. I've noticed that a lot of the bullion dealers, they are backlogged in terms of delivery. They are backlogged in terms of quantity. They just can't deliver against the amount ordered. They are short of gold and silver, physical gold and silver. I'm not talking about the ETFs or futures. I mean, physical gold and silver is short. What could happen, at least if the situation persists, mints will increase their striking numbers, right? They will increase the output. If they increase the output, they will have to take gold and silver out of the exchange vaults. And that is when you could have a short squeeze on the futures market. And it's kind of funny that the futures market determined the price of how much gold is bought back. And that's why a lot of these bullion dealers, they're making a killing when they buy back gold, because they know that they're buying back physical gold, right? And that that exchanges are usually not as well stocked as they should be. And I'll post a few articles from reliable sources, not about like third-party sources, about basically recent audits on the exchanges and some of their, irregularities. Not necessarily that they are short. I don't know if they're short. I don't have access to the vaults, but it's not a good sign when they are when they can't pass certain audits, right? That's not a good sign. Or it's not a very amazing sign. It could be less, it could mean nothing, it could mean something, but I guess it's up to you to read those articles and decide for yourself. I will keep stacking. I will always keep stacking. I see this as a savings account that I'm putting money to the side, for the future to use in 20 years, 30 years, when I need money. If I need money to buy I don't know, to buy a house for a family or so on, I might sell some, in exchange because that's not really an expense, but that's a life goal that I'm okay with liquidating some positions. If you are stacking for, for when shit hits the fan, I'm of the opinion you don't need too much, but you do need a little bit. So having 1 ounce of gold and like 10, 20 ounces of silver is not bad. Optimally, I think if you have the spare cash available, don't go into debt for this, and you want to make a sort of a insurance policy stack, a physical insurance policy stack, have up to 10 ounces of gold and 100 ounces of silver. And I think that would be a good insurance stack, and you don't really need to add more to that afterwards, right? You could add more to that if you want to make, stacking a consistent proportion of your wealth. But if you are just trying to build an emergency fund that you can carry with you, 10 ounces of gold, 100 ounces of silver, that makes about 5 kilos of physical assets. You can throw that into a bag, and you can just bail out with that. You can move to a new place, use that as your startup fund for your new business, and so on. That's what I see. It won't make you rich, but it is insurance. Anyways, and it has always been insurance for ages. I do like to buy platinum because there is a small amount of speculative aspect with platinum, more so than silver. Silver is pretty much correlated with gold. I've been telling people on my channel that, there was a time when silver was almost purely industrial demand, especially between the 80s, 90s. But since 2000s, gold and silver have a 85% correlation. So they are trading on a very similar sort of basis. And the only difference is that silver has a much higher premium than gold, but silver is so cheap. Silver is so cheap. I mean, out of this, they're all 1 ounce precious metals here, right? This is the most expensive. And this is afterwards, it's a platinum. Platinum's so undervalued, and silver is just so cheap. You can buy $30, $40, you can put it to the side. You don't even have to buy a lot of it. You can choose to buy 1 ounce of silver per month. And you can, by the end of the year, you'll have 12 ounces of silver. Yay, if you're trying to build your insurance stack over 10 years, 20 years, silver is a great way to do it. You're not putting a lot of money, and you have some physical currency, supranational physical currency on the side. There's no question about it. It's just so cheap. Silver, gold is more expensive. That's why I try to go for like cheap, like fractional stuff that's on sale, but these things are no longer on sale. Gold sovereigns, I think one of my viewers told me that RAF pilots, Royal Air Force from the UK, they used to hold gold sovereigns in one of their emergency bags. I think 26 gold sovereigns or 23 gold sovereigns for in case in an emergency landing, they could use that gold to pay their way out, you know. So yeah, or bribe officials in some whatever local country they landed so they can get out and get out alive. So yeah, anyways, if you like the content, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and the bell notification. And this is Dave out.